Yeah.
Okay.
Over to Anu.
Okay. Thank you, Leela.
Yeah.
First of all, namaste, आप सभी को very good evening. And my name is Anu Gupta, and I'm from Delhi. Please just let me know if my voice is breaking or something, because today the internet connection is not very stable. So from morning onwards, I'm struggling with it. So I hope it can reach you like on time, the voice. Okay. So just let me know if there is some disturbance in between.
No, voice is clear and
Okay. Great.
yeah, yeah.
Great. Great. So so when Asawari asked me to, like, to just share my journey of Kathak, like here with Arohi people. So I was just thinking, like, what should I share? I mean, I really need to look back, like, what has happened and in previous years and something like that. So I would like to start my uh, mm, sharing with the when I was in class 12th, basically. So my English is little limited, so I will try to explain as much as I can with my limitness. So when I was in 12th, so my father is, like, very keen to, like, put us into some ECA thing, like some extracurricular thing, like, and especially in the holidays time. So it was my father's decision who took me to the Kathak dance classes. And at that time I was just very fond of dancing, but I did not know about any particular dance forms, like, ki this is classical, this is western, or this is folk dance, and like that. So I just went, and I took a workshop for a month-long workshop, and it was like complete Kathak. And when I completed that workshop, and I just felt like, I just completed my 12th, and after 12th, it's a time when you thought about, like, making your career, like, okay, in which field you want to go. So my father really wanted me to be a teacher, or maybe like, school teacher, or a government job. I should grab that, because it has so many advantages, and, like, financial security, and not very heaviness on the mind, like that. But after 12th, when I did that 1 month of workshop of Kathak dance, so I just felt, okay, now I think I need to go to the this dancing field. I think I should make my career into dance. And I think that was the right time, because after 12th I was just looking, what should I do, what should I do? I had no idea. So, but yeah, that time my father and I had a great fight. Like, he wanted me to be a, like, a teacher, and just want make my admission into some of the institution, the teaching institution. And I want to take dance as a profession. So, but yes, because that time I was completely dependent on my parents, so I can't really fight with them financially. I was dependent on them, or this thing. So then somehow I completed my teaching diploma 2 years. By the time I was just doing dance, like, as a hobby, like thrice a week class or twice a week class for an hour and something like that. But yes, I got the mm, that I think my heart really knew that time what I really wanted to do, because just after completing my 2 years of diploma in teaching, unfortunately I got a government job. And because that time it was not very strict, and you can easily take that on the basis of your merit and this thing. So I got a government job, and I started teaching into a school, class second. And for a year I just teaching, and the dance thing was just going parallelly as a hobby. But I really don't wanted to make it as hobby only. So then I don't know, ek din man mein kya aaya. I just felt like, okay, enough is enough. I can't do this teaching job anymore. And, like, so I just resigned it from that job without asking my parents, without telling my parents that I'm going to resign my government job. So I just resigned it, and I just came back home, and then I like, shared them, like, I have resigned my job and I don't want to do that. And again we had a great fight with my parents at home, and they are like, what will you do now? People are really looking for the government job, and you have that job in your hand, and you have just, like, छोड़कर आ गए हो उसको, बहुत उन्होंने मुझे सुनाया. And but luckily very luckily, I'm fortunate about, I really feel grateful for that thing. At the same time, when I resigned my job, my guru, my dance guru, my Kathak guru, she just started her own institution of dance, Kathak dance. So she needs someone to take care of that, not the institution, but help her to run that institution, because it was on a very scratch level she started. So I was very, very feel fortunate because my guru selected me to, like, help her into that thing. So then I kind of a then I sort of, as we say in classical dance, guru shishya parampara. So then onwards, my journey of Kathak took a complete turn, uh, as a dancer, as a professional dancer, because from there onwards, I used to learn dance, like from morning 10 o'clock till night 10 o'clock. Like it was like a full 10 to 12 hours. You are just continuously practicing, dancing, observing other dancers, and going to the rehearsals and recordings, and the overall idea I was taking. So for the 4 to 5 years, I just like exploring this field of dance, of classical dance, doing programs with my gurus, like traveling across the country and doing the workshops and all these things. But I was so happy, actually. I just felt like, the whole life I'm going to do this, like I will be with my guru only, and in that institution only. But uh, what happens, uh, in 2015, in October 2015, I was in Himachal, and I just randomly went to the one of the NGO over there. Its name is Avishkar. So there, a group of girls was there. The girls are from Bihar. So Bihar ka jo Musahar community hai, which is the rat eaters community, the Dalit community, ka girls was there for their some summer program or something like that. So the founder of the organization, Sandhya Di, she just asked me, ki, okay, you do Kathak, just take one session with our girls from Bihar. And I was like, not a big deal. I mean, I can do that. Ek ghante ki to baat hai. And that was my first time when I, like, when I conduct dance session for such girls. Such girls, I mean to say, the girls who really wanted to learn something, who really wanted to explore themselves, but they don't have really enough opportunities or maybe the enough exposure to learn that thing. And especially if they're coming from Bihar and the Dalit community of Bihar, it was a really, really, really big thing for them to explore something like that, this classical dance form. And for me as well, when I took that 1.5 hour session with those girls who are from Bihar, uh, I don't know what happens. It was like a complete shift for my mind. I mean, when I used to work in Delhi in my guru's institution, and Delhi, as you know, it's a metro city, and like all uh, 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 so many classes and so many exposures are here, and the kids who used to come to the classes, they were not really enthusiastic about dance. They were all like they are coming because the parents have, like pushed them to go, okay, do the dance and this kind of a thing. And there in Himachal, when I met those girls, the Dalit community girls, I when I met them, and they are like, wow. I mean, like it's like if you have a food, and if you want to give it to somebody, so there is one person who has already so many kind of a food, he or she can, like uh, uh, eat, and his stomach is already full, and there is another person who is hungry about it. So the person who will hungry, if you give the food, then he will value it more, and the other person will take it for granted. So the same thing I experienced when I worked with there in Himachal. And then I decided, like, why not? I mean, I was into only one thing, into the Delhi people, just teach them, and like just doing and all that glamorous life with perform on the stage, and like so many people, like notice you and like that. But after doing that Himachal workshop, a sudden shift has happened in my mind, or maybe in my heart, which I feel like so much love those girls gave me, so much care, and like, you know, by the end of the session they were like, Didi, Didi, please teach us more, it's very little, please don't go. And they were all crying and like that. And then I decided, like, you know, it's okay, like, you know, just balance them. So maybe you can continue your Delhi thing also, but with this you at least take out some time for the girls who are not very privileged in terms of getting these kind of exposures, so teach them also. But when I came back to Delhi and when I asked my guru ki, okay, this is my plan, and so something happened and some uh, misunderstandings happened between me and my guru, and then I decided to leave that institution and leave my that kind of a job which I was doing in Delhi in terms of dance. And then in 2016, I decided to devote my time to teach those girls who really wanted to learn, but they don't have enough exposure and enough opportunities, and just teach them dance. So for that, I started an initiative, Anubhuti. So Anubhuti means when you experience something in a more deeper level. So which is it's a Hindi word, Anubhuti. So under this initiative, so when I observed these girls, the girls from the tribal areas, the girls from the villages, from our urban slums area. So when I used to meet those girls and talk to them, I really find that they have some kind of a hesitation in their mind, or they are not very open to share. They are not very open to speak, or so many foundations around them and so many things. So so underconfident. Even if they know the answer, they will not raise their hand. So then I decided, let's not make it only dance. Let's not only like, you know, uh, uh, train them as a dancer, but skill तो it's like, you know, आप किसी को कुछ भी सिखाओगे, if you are continuously teaching something to somebody, automatically that person will um, get that, will take that after practicing. So then I decided to skill automatically will be there. So let's add some life skills with the dance thing, with this Kathak thing. So for that, I just observed few things in the girls, like they have very underconfident. They are very hesitant. They don't know how to create something. They don't know how to, like, you know, if lead something, like how to take initiatives or that confidence. So then I decided, let's start something through Kathak. I'm just trying to inculcate the life skills among the girls who are from the remote or rural areas of the country, or the tribal areas of the country, or the urban slums. So initially it has started with the girls only, but slowly some boys also started taking interest into learning this dance form. So then I kept it, like, I keep it open for the girls and for the boys. Like, okay, like, you know, everybody has to be equal opportunities and exposure to explore themselves if they really want to do. So now from 2016 onwards till now, I'm just traveling across the country. I just collaborate with different organizations, especially NGOs, who are working on a grassroots level of that particular area. It can be a village, it can be a tribal area, or it can be a urban slum. And then I just stay there for a month and do these kind of workshops, Anubhuti workshops, and which aims to inculcate life skills such as confidence, leadership, teamwork, using Kathak dance as a media. So because dance is a something like everybody, like, you know, love to do this thing, and उनको पता भी नहीं चलता है, they don't really have any idea, like while learning dance they are like, you know, the seed of these kind of a thing, life skills, the confidence and leadership, it's already planting in themselves. And by the end of the workshop, I just conduct a very informal stage program for the participants, and they perform whatever they have learned, the basic, the more than basic. And it's really, like, you know, heartwarming for me to see them uh, when they dance, and when they like, you know, speak on the stage by holding a mic, and they're sharing their experiences, like what the changes they have noticed in themselves, the awareness level, their reflections. It's really really good to see them like sharing themselves in front of a huge audience, like all their villages, the village people are there, their families, their neighbors, their school people, teachers, everybody is there. So this is how this like Kathak has like many shifts I feel in my life. But yes, as I always said that Kathak is something for me. It's kind of a thread of life for me, because it's like a thread when you just continuously like moving on a thread and you have that support. Sometimes I feel if I don't have Kathak, I don't know what would I be doing. Like it's really difficult to see myself uh, apart, like Kathak se alag. Like I can't see myself and Kathak as a two different things. It's the same. And while and when I talk about sharing it with the people, and I feel it's like Sone Pe Suhaga. It gives more energy um, to my inner self and to me to continue the path which I have chosen for myself. Yeah, so this is it. This is how the Kathak is like taking shifts in my life. And from like last 3 to 4 years, this year also I was supposed to travel, but because of this corona thing, I'm just now trying to take the workshops online with the girls and with the people. And yeah, so from like last 3 to 4 years I'm just traveling and working with the kids, and seeing them like overcoming their fears of speaking, or taking lead, or their hesitation, and so many things. It's so amazing for me to see. Yeah, so this is all in short, like what I do and how I started doing this thing. But yes, with this in this PS note, it's like today also it's been 11 years I'm doing Kathak. Like I started learning it in 2009, and today also like my father is like still he's like, okay, just okay, you do the Kathak, you do the workshop, you do everything, but just look for the government job, and like just like take it somehow, like it will give you financial security, or the other so many advantages are there. But yeah, I think maybe someday I will be able to convince them that my heart is not in the government job. My heart is somewhere else. It is okay if I'm not financially secure from the job, but I just have a complete trust and surrender towards the universe. I feel if I need money, if I need something, I just need to ask it from universe, from my heart, and it will somehow manage, like so I really don't have that fear of finances and all these things. So but yeah, so this is it.
Super, super. All the best.
Audible, but still we were just involved in your dance. I was involved in your dance. Yes. Hi guys, it's open to you all to share, connect with Auntie. Sorry, connect with Anu.
So Anu, Preeti here. It was beautiful performance. Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to our eyes actually. So
Thank you.
lucky to see such performances. So yeah. I really want to understand how much of effort goes into it. Like your practice, how much does it take? I know you have mentioned in your introduction that 12 hours from morning 10 till 9 till 10 you used to practice. So for our young children, like some 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old girls or boys who want to get into this classical dance form, what kind of practice they really need to get right right actions and everything?
Okay, so I feel, Preeti, so this practice, which we call riyaz basically in our classical terms, so
Yeah.
riyaz is necessary, but it completely depends on an individual. Like, it's like a stamina which, like, slowly, slowly, gradually it increases. Like, let's say, मान लीजिए there is a kid of 6 year of age, and he or she just started learning the dance form. So initially, we would recommend him to start his practice with, like, 15 minutes a day. Only 15 minutes. Because if we directly tell him to do it like for an hour or for 2 hours, so maybe he will try definitely, but in the end, he will come back by, like, he will be demotivated with this thing, because it's not really very smooth in the beginning. And uh, when we are talking about the classical thing, so it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of hard work also. And so yes, so for the kids, it's suggested to start with 15 minutes and gradually increase the timing, 15 minutes to 20 minutes, and 25 minutes, then 30 minutes. Because once your body gets warm up, then it automatically, like, you automatically feel like to do it more and more and more. And as you like, your age, you are growing, or you come to the teenage or the adulthood, so it automatically your body adapts the thing. Then you are doing the riyaz for 2 hours, then it is a very normal thing for you to do. So yes, but for the kids also, we don't recommend to practice like for an hour or for like 2 hours.
Okay, thank you so much, Anu. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
So adults can also start, like, I know, means age is not a factor for anything, but still, just asking.
Yes, 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 definitely. In fact, I will share you, like, as I shared in the beginning, when I was in class 12th, I would be like, maybe I will be 15, 16 years of age, I started learning it. Like, it's not necessary like you have to start learning it by the age of 3 or by the age of 4. It's good if you're started learning, but that time it's not in your hand. It's all about your family and your parents and the background you belong to. But if you're asking about yourself, so when I'm doing these kind of online workshops and on the regular workshops also, so there are people like, 45 years of age, 50 years of age, they, like, enroll themselves and they dance, and they really dance beautifully. Because it's like, when you are so you really wanted to learn, but because of the studies and because of the other things, you're not able to do that. But now you really feel like, so that essence of the dance form is already there in your heart. It is just you have not get the proper conditions to, like, to grow that seed of that thing which is already there inside you. So I don't think, as we said, age is just a number. I completely agree with this thing.
So sweet, so nice. Actually, maybe as parents, we do like that only, that when we are not able to do certain things in life, then we expect from our children to do it. So
Yes, yes.
that seed is there in my heart to do some classical form of dancing, and I've never been able to accomplish that. So maybe I tried with my daughter number of times.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I would prefer, I would really like to maybe join your session or someday, something, so that at least I can start somewhere. I don't know.
Definitely, definitely. Why not?
Thank you. Thank you.
Anu, thank you so much. This is Reena here. It was a beautiful performance, and your story was indeed inspiring. A lovely story. It's not all. It's not you common to find people like you who who do it with so much passion and who wants to give this to the less deserving, and that is commendable, I must say. So kudos to you. And I mean, with my heartfelt wishes, hoping that you inspire many more lives, especially the underprivileged lives, because and like Preeti said, I'm also very keen on joining your dance class. And I don't know.
Anu, can you share? So you have some workshops coming up. Can you share about that also?
Yes, yes. So, as I shared in the beginning, like because of this COVID thing, so I have like shifted as everybody has shifted this to the virtual platform. So my workshop is also happening. So the very coming next workshop is going to be started from coming Tuesday onwards, from 28th of July. So if any one of you wants to join, and it's open for all, no age group. The minimum age is should be the 8+ years, but the registrations I'm receiving, it's all like adults and like 30 plus or the 25 plus people I'm receiving. So any one of you, as Preeti said and as Reena, you are sharing, if you want to join, please most welcome. You're really, and it would be a 3 week workshop.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
You can just explore yourself, just give some time to yourself too, for
Sure.
that seed to grow.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Thank you, Anu. It is actually exploring ourselves. That's true.
Yes. So maybe I will I will share the link of the work.
To overcome the decisions of parents, to your to make your heart and passion too. So, how was the journey for you from those days?
Let
And
me
still you are.
let me relive those memories. Yeah. So yes, Leela, no doubt. Initially, it was
Leela aunty,
Kabir,
sorry லீலாக்கா வெளியே போயிடுச்சு.
sorry.
வெளியே வந்துட்டு திரும்பியும் ஆன் பண்ணேன்க்கா.
Okay, no problem. Anu is here till 4 o'clock. We will connect with Anu. If you have any doubts, you can ask. You also like dance, right, Kabir?
Yeah,
You can also ask Anu how she started in the initial childhood. She started with dance, and now she is conducting programs for children.
ஓகேக்கா.
Yeah.
அக்கா எண்ணெயில இருந்தாங்கக்கா அது.
Ask Auntie.
எண்ணெயில்.
Ask Anu.
Anu aunty,
Anji, yes.
how are you like feeling, and like how, what do you think the girls were feeling when you saw them the first time?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, I was saying that how are you feeling when the first time you did dance with the girls, and then what do you think they felt when they were dancing the first time with you?
It was like when it's not like I was teaching dance to the girls for the first time, because as I mentioned, like in Delhi I was already teaching this dance form to so many kids, but from it was only for the Delhi people. But when I met those girls who are from that Dalit community, from Bihar, so I just found that those girls are really uh, enthusiastic about uh, exploring themselves, learning something new, and they are kind of very polite in nature, and they're very 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 pure. I can say, like it's like a blank slate, like nothing, no, like very open heartedly they were like welcoming and learning, and no judgment, nothing like that. But yes, at the same time they have a lot of confidence issues, like they're very hesitant in speaking and not expressing themselves much, and if the new person is there, so they will not be like as much open as we can see in the city kids, or from the town. So when I met those girls, so for me it was like a complete shift, because I have never experienced that kind of a love from the kids which they were giving to me, and the kind of respond they show towards the dance form, they were literally valuing it, whatever they were being taught. uh, and for them it is like it's a completely new thing, and they really wanted to learn. And after that, I think I have done maybe the 7 to 8 workshops with the same girls from the same community girls in Himachal only. So it was kind of my regular routine to go there every, like every month for the workshop with them. So yeah, so this is how it goes.
And how do you think they were feeling when the first time they met you and danced with you? And yeah.
The beginning they were little hesitant, as usual, like the new people, like for me as well, like now I'm like, from like last 4 years I'm continuously traveling, so it is not like I'm always giving. So I feel like this is my selfish purpose to give so that I can receive also. So in the process I have also grown myself a lot. And when I met those girls for the first time, like they were hesitant, so I was also hesitant at the same time, because I was also not very much open that time. But yes, there was a common thread between us, which was Kathak. I was going to teach them Kathak and they're going to learn that thing. So the Kathak was there, which was like, central point between them and me. So this is how we converse, we used to communicate. And if I need to talk to some girls, so if I really want to know her story or her things which is going in her mind, so I used to start talking with like the things around Kathak. Okay, how is the practice going on? Like, are you liking this dance form and like that? And through Kathak, I used to like, make a connection with that particular girl. And once your relationship is like, building with that particular person, then you are able to like, you become friend. I feel like, So the first thing is you have to be a friend. Like, Mishti, if I'm teaching you dance, so maybe uh, I will try not to become your teacher. I will try to become your friend first. After that, only you will be able to learn that thing properly. Otherwise, it is
Yeah.
a mechanical process, like the machine thing. No sensitivity, no emotions, nothing. Then it will become like a robotic thing. So this is how, like I try to do the friendship with them.
Okay.
We move towards the dance thing.
Yeah. Nice.
So are you still in touch with the Bihar girls
Yes.
online?
Some of them are there because as I mentioned that these girls are from a very rural and from that area. So some of them has the mobile phone or their parents' mobile phone. So we are in touch through them, but not all of the girls. But yes, some of them we often talk on a call, or sometimes we do the video call. Pehle we used to do the like when they're in their hostels or some of the common teacher is going there, so we used to do the group video call and something like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
but yeah, wherever I go, so I try to keep in touch with them. But it's not always possible. Like once I was in Sukma, Chhattisgarh, with that in that Naxalite area and worked with those girls. So those girls did not have access of the mobile phone as well. So
Hmm.
I'm hardly in touch with those girls because they ask
Hmm.
my mobile number. I give them my mobile number and ask them to call me whenever they feel like, or through whatever medium. But it's not always possible to keep in touch with every girl or every kid.
Okay. Nice.
It's so touching that you have been working with children and giving and giving and giving. So, how do you feel about it?
Uh,
Hello, Leela.
Huh, Kabir?
का ड्राइंग क्लास अपन का स्टार्ट हुआ
Okay, Kabir, now it is Kathak. We can, till 4 o'clock it is going on, and then after that you can connect. Okay?
ओके
Yeah.
so it's like as I just shared, Leela, like in the process of giving, I seriously receive so much things. I mean, I can completely see the shift I don't know, I have made, or it just evolves automatically. Like the 4 years pehle wala Anu, like I was like in 2015, 16, and now. So it has a huge difference between, like, it's kind of a complete two different personality. If you see me 4 years back and if you see me now, That time I was completely into I sort of a thing. Okay, I need to learn, I need to, oh, I am doing this, oh, people are praising me, that kind of a ego thing. I can clearly see that thing was very, very, very high tech. But when I sharing this thing with the kids, and in return they are giving me that so much kind of a love, and that care, I will also share my I always write one blog wherever I go, my journey. I just for the documentation and for my own reflection, I used to write blogs. So I can also share the links of that when you will read that. So with each workshops, I feel there is some kind of a seed, or maybe some kind of a thing which is growing inside me. And not like externally, it's, I always feel whenever you are in social sector, or you are doing some work with the NGOs, so they always talk about impact, how many organizations to target, how many kids you have impacted, how many, in numbers you need to keep that data. But I feel, I mean, I don't know how much I have impacted them, but I feel they have impacted my life, in so many ways. I'm so patient, like पहले से बहुत ज़्यादा I'm very patient. Patience I developed in myself, and at least I'm able to see the things from the other's perspective as well. Initially it used to happen if the one kid is not practicing, so I used to scold, I'm not doing this, 23 times I have told you, now you should understand this thing. So I just got irritated very, very like this in the beginning stage of this thing. But gradually I just when I listen to their stories, when I listen to their problems, their families, their father, their mother, there are people who don't have their families, and they are just so many things. And I feel why I am I feel like my problems are big. Just listen to them, your problem is nothing in front of them. After doing so, after having these so many things, they, if they can smile, then who am I to just sit and cry upon my things. So this kind of a sensitivity I feel is developed in myself while in this process of giving and receiving. And so I feel these kids don't have any idea how much they have impacted, and how much they have given me. इतना तो शायद मैंने भी उनको नहीं दिया जितना they have given me. So yeah, so this is really
Anu,
nice.
this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. So matlab, it touches your heart so much. Yeah, when you really give, then you're not actually giving it. Actually, you're receiving so much, and your receiving is showing on your face. You're glowing so much.
Yeah, I agree totally. Yeah. Actually, Anu, and the other thing is you echo a lot of like the other artists who do their various art with a lot of passion. Like how you mentioned that you cannot separate myself and my work. We are not two separate entities, but we are one. So I was reading this book called Music Room uh, by Namita Devi Dayal. She writes about her guru, Dondotai, who is a classical, Hindustani classical singer. And she mentions the same thing, that it's very difficult for me to separate myself and the music. And a lot of passion on, and like how she gives herself to the music, that is brought out very beautifully in the book. So I was able to relate to that story when you were talking.
True. Every word what you speak is coming from your heart, and it is really heart touching.
I feel yesterday only, I think I was just going through something, and it also says just simply follow your heart. I mean, it is okay. Sometimes it's kind of a great fight between your mind and between your heart. Mind is always about calculating things, how much I would be able to take from that thing and all this kind of a thing. But heart is always, it always has that surrender feeling inside you, okay, just do that. We will see whatever will be happen afterwards and like that. And I feel whenever I in two situations, I just sit and just see, like, whether the voice is coming from my heart or from my mind. If it is coming from my heart, then I just simply just close my eyes and say, okay, just go on that path only. So it will harm you. So, yeah.
Awesome. I think we are close to our time. Anu, you can share your blogs, also your online online link for your sessions. People who are interested, we will post it on Slack for people who are interested. They can join.
Sure, sure. I will do
Thank you
that.
so much for joining us and sharing your journey.
Thank you, Leela.